Table Talk with Brenda Perryman is brought to you by Livingston Family Dentistry.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
then you should be coming to us.
I am back, and I'm back with a young man I've been wanting to meet for years. I can't say years and years because he doesn't have all those years on him. I know his daddy and his mother, Mr. Jackson Coleman. Good morning, Jackson.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Ken?
Good morning. How are you? Good to see you again.
Oh, it's great to see you. I miss you on the show.
Can we actually, are we in the happy holiday season? Can we say happy holidays? Because
happy
we just
holidays, happy Thanksgiving,
Giving, all of
Merry
that.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, all that stuff.
All that good stuff. It seems like I just said Happy New Year week before last. Now
It goes fast. It goes fast. Yeah.
This is the older you get, the faster it goes.
And when you're having fun, too.
Oh, yeah.
It goes fast.
And I'm trying to have some fun. Well, as we know, Ken Coleman, he's written several books, and he's a historian. I mean, something I might have been if I didn't go into drama, because you know I love history.
You do?
What are the names of some of your books, Ken?
Oh, boy. On This Day, African American Life in Detroit. Soul on Air, Blacks in Radio. That's a book about all the great disc jockeys that have been on air in Detroit over the years. Boy, $1 million worth of nerve. It's a book about Paradise Valley and Black Bottom, those two lost communities on the Lower East Side. Collaborated on a book, an award-winning book, I'm happy to say. Collaborated on a book this year about the Detroit Rebellion, or as Brenda Perryman would say, riot.
He quoted me.
And Brenda is in the book, and so it's been a great year. But
the big book, the big African American life.
Yeah, On This Day, African American Life in Detroit. Right. You featured that one for years on your broadcast.
I haven't finished. I was just waiting for it to go on.
Yeah, I need to put it on digital.
You need to put it on digital.
Got to do it. I'm just running so
but
fast.
But I look at it every day now. Jackson, what's the name of your book?
Well, my book is All of My Ancestors Detroit in 1917.
All of your ancestors from Detroit now?
Yeah.
How did you find all this information out?
That's my dad's story.
Well, it is a collaborative effort. Dad did a lot of the research, but what I'm really proud of, with Jackson's contribution, Jackson wrote the foreword, the opening statement of the book. Jackson wrote it all on his own, and in that, Jackson, talk about what you contributed to the book.
I wrote about how my great-great-grandparents, how they lived. I also wrote about how this book is important to little kids. And
why is it important to little kids, Jackson? Why is it important?
It's important because not a lot of kids know about this, but
about their history?
Yeah, but adults know about a lot of this, so it's just really important for kids to know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I like this foreword. Can you read us this first sentence of the foreword, please?
Yeah. This book is important to me. People need to know about blacks who helped to make Detroit a better community 100 years ago.
100 years ago. Yes, and their pictures, I mean, not only a picture of you in the top left-hand corner, but there's a picture of your
great-great-grandparents.
Your great-great-grandparents. That is just wonderful. gosh, how do you feel about knowing who they are? What does that give you a sense of since you know who they are?
At first I didn't know who they were, so it was really important to me because when I first saw them, I didn't really know who they were, and I had to study a lot to know what was going to happen in the book and how it was going to happen.
And
So-
is there one of your relatives or ancestors, I should say, that you really, wow, you said wow when you read about him or you know about him or her?
Yeah, it was just my great grandparents, William and Fanny Trent. They were
William and Fanny Trent?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Talk to us
They
about
were
them.
they went to the first Sunday of Hartford Avenue Baptist Church.
Really?
And first Sunday service of Hartford Avenue Baptist Church. And they lived on Orleans Street in Black Bottom.
And that's not far from where you live now, is it?
No. It's really close actually.
And school as well. And school as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Wow. You know, that sense of history, what do you think we can learn from history?
A lot of things because people say that history is just the past, but it's really important to know because things that happen now could occur. Well, things that happen now could have happened 100 or 200 years ago, but
So
we don't
you
even
say
know.
And sometimes history repeats itself, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some of the things, why should people buy this book?
Well, people should buy this book, and not only people, but kids should buy this book because kids don't. If I didn't know it, my friends don't even care about it probably, and when I show them, they're gonna be like, "Oh, cool, that's exciting." So I don't know, but I hope they care.
So if your friends say, oh, that's cool, that's exciting, you are a role model. You know, that's a responsibility now because they'll look to you and they'll look at their parents and say, Mommy, Daddy, why don't I know about my grandmother, or great-grandmother, or great-grandfather, or our family history, right? Where did your family come from before they came to Michigan? Were they always in Michigan?
You look at me. Well, we're from all, like most black families, we're from all over the South. The Trents, William and Fanny Trent, came here from Tennessee, and they moved to Detroit in 1912. They were married in 1910, moved here in 1912. And like a lot of people in Detroit at that time, particularly African American men at least, William Trent found an employment opportunity at Ford Motor Company because Henry Ford at that time was telling folk that he would pay them $5 a day. And the Trents came here, like a lot of African American families, during the Great Migration in the 19-teens through the 1920s. One of the things we write about in the book is not only the Trents, but some other notables who helped build Detroit, quite frankly, not just the city's black community, but the city in general. So we've got small profiles on people like Fanny Richards, who was the first black teacher in the Detroit public schools. By 1917, she had just retired, but was an elder statesperson, to be sure, and she was very active at Second Baptist Church and really active in helping wayward young women find work at the time and find housing. So Fanny Richards is there. I'm really excited about. Go right ahead, Jaxie.
Okay, so I was just gonna say that we talked about R.J. Willis, who was a successful lawyer. He came from Kentucky because his parents were escaping slavery. His parents were escaping slavery in Kentucky, and he escaped on a raft. Well, he didn't escape. He was born on a raft in the Detroit River while his parents were escaping slavery.
Wow.
And Elijah McCoy also escaped slavery from Kentucky. Well, no, he was born. Elijah McCoy was born in Canada, but his parents escaped slavery in Kentucky.
Isn't that something? Because I noticed that as I looked through the book you were talking about, people who were escaping slavery who said their children will not be born slaves.
Right. And what you found in a lot of cases in 1917, the younger generation was really the first generation of African Americans who lived, north of the Mason-Dixon line. Lots of their parents had been slaves, had come this way through the via the Underground Railroad, found freedom either in Canada, and some of them came back to the States, like Elijah McCoy's family. McCoy was actually born, as Jackson pointed out, in Ontario, but he was raised and lived in Detroit. And one of the great things about doing the research for the book, Jackson actually got a chance to do some of the research before the book was even thought of.
Yeah,
How's that?
I did a project in second grade. Second grade.
Mhm.
What grade are you in now?
I'm in fourth, so that was 2 grades ago.
Yeah, when you were a child.
And you did a report on who?
I did a report on Elijah McCoy. He invented the lubrication system, which made trains able to not have to stop every 5 minutes for oil.
You mean trains used to stop every 5 minutes?
I mean,
Yeah, they stopped very often, and McCoy's invention allowed them to go long distances because of the lubricating cup, right? Remember?
Now, isn't the patent office named after Elijah McCoy, the patent office that is here in Detroit?
It is. He had lots of patents, right, Jackson? More than 50. But the lubricating cup is the one, is the real McCoy. And that's where the moniker comes from. Yeah.
Now, you're having a book signing, right?
We are, and we're really excited about it. Tomorrow.
on Saturday,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, so it's Saturday, November the 25th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Northwest Activities Center. That's located at 18100 Myers, right there at Myers and Curtis on the city's northwest side. Again, Saturday, November the 25th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tomorrow.
3 to
Yeah.
5. Get your book. Get a signed autographed copy of your book.
And the book is very inexpensive. It's only $10. It allows us to recoup the cost of printing. It's important, Brenda, for the community to either relearn some of these great lessons or learn them for the first time, some of this great history. We are going to have the signing, and then if there are any books left over, and we may do a second printing, we're going to donate books to Jackson School, Chrysler Elementary, and the Detroit Public Library, the Burton Historical Collection, where we got a lot of the research from. So we'll make it available for people who want to see it in schools, see it in libraries.
And another thing that they have here, they talk about 1917 and some of the blacks who were born here, such as, do you remember any of them? Like who?
There was blues singer John Lee Hooker.
Got to talk right to the mic, Jackson.
Okay, John Lee Hooker, who was a favorite of my great grandfather, Leon Crowther, who was my grandma's dad.
There you go. It's early for Jackson.
Yeah, but we have, Jackie Bond,
Yeah.
Irma Henderson.
It was a good year.
It
was a good year.
You learn a lot of good things in this book. And
Yeah.
what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, this is a little joke. Me and my dad, we said we didn't even know we were gonna do 1918 because we didn't even know if the book was gonna get published in time.
Jackson reminded me. We wrote the book the first
it's
part of the year.
November now, and we didn't even.
Golly, leave it to children.
He's opening up now. Jackson said that, Daddy, it's coming up in November. If we don't get the book out, it's not going to be 2017 anymore. So we can't celebrate the 100th century mark. So I say, well, let's get it done and get it printed, and we have. So again, excited about the book signing tomorrow, Saturday, November the 25th at Northwest Activity Center from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We'd love to see you there.
All of my ancestors.
Detroit in 1917.
Detroit in 1917. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Coleman.
Always great to be back.
Always great to be here. And shout out to Kim, Trent, your wife, and your mom. Tell her hi.
Hi, Mom.
It's the mayor of Jacksonville.
Okay, well, we'll be back in just a moment with Cassandra Freeman. Stay tuned. You really want to hear about this woman.
Table Talk with Brenda Perryman is brought to you by Livingston Family Dentistry.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
Then you should be coming to us.
Gonna take a quick selfie. Me and my guest, Cassandra Freeman, is here, who just won an acting award
I
at the
did.
Detroit Repertory Theater. This woman can act her buns off.
Thank you.
I didn't mean your buns. Old school, old school,
Yeah, I
old school.
understand.
But Cassandra, let's get a little background. You've been acting for how long?
I've been acting since I was 14, professionally since I was 14. I started with a teen theater group that's sponsored by Planned Parenthood. We used to go
Where
around.
was it?
It was through Planned Parenthood, and what we would do is we would go around to different schools in the Detroit public school system and in the Metro Detroit area, and we would write and perform skits about various aspects of teen sexuality. So from abstinence to reproductive rights and all kinds of things. And what we found was that the modality worked better for peers to educate peers rather than for them to hear.
I believe in that.
Absolutely.
I have a teen dating violence prevention
Absolutely.
program that my students tour.
Exactly.
We have a
Exactly.
girls in
So it was very
violence
similar to
program.
that. So I
Yeah.
did that all through high school, and
What high school?
I went to Martin Luther King.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
went to King. And I did that all through high school, and then I went to college, and I took a different route in college. I decided to go for business, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all, and because I'm a creative person. And so when the automotive industry kind of took a downturn, I took a buyout, and I started to act professionally full time. So I've been doing that
So
for
you've
quite some time.
done theater? Have you done film?
I have done some film, but I primarily focus on theater and voiceovers and audiobooks. So I do all kinds of things like that.
Great,
Yeah.
great. Now, right now, and tell the people what you got an award for
I
the other day.
the other day I got the Detroit Repertory Theater's Subscribers Award for my work in Countdown to the Happy Day. I played a homeless woman who was recovering from PTSD, had a myriad of issues, and she linked up with a teenage boy, and their lives are both changed from that encounter. So I'd also won the Wild Award, which is Michigan's equivalent of the Tony
Right.
for the same role. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That is wonderful. And you are you're directing, or you directed
Yes.
Who Will Sing for Lena.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the audience exactly what that's about? I
Okay.
think you'll find that interesting.
Yes, it is a one-woman show about the life of Lena Baker, who was a domestic in Georgia, and she was the only woman executed in the state of Georgia by the electric chair for killing her abusive employer. He had been systematically and continuously raping her and physically assaulting her for years. And one day, in August of 1944, she decided to fight back. She had enough. He was keeping her hostage, and she shot and killed him. And it was just the play chronicles just the miscarriage of justice that was her trial and ultimately her execution. So
Now, this play is playing where?
it is playing at the Matrix Theater, which is, I had to write it down, 2730 Bagley Street. And it is in Southwest Detroit, so it's right near Mexican Town. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you can go
It's
and
not
grab
too far
dinner.
from downtown.
No,
though.
not too far from downtown.
Uh-uh.
Not too far from downtown. Very easy to get there. So it's a dynamic
Matrix
piece.
Theater.
The Matrix Theater.
Who
Yes.
plays the lead role?
The lead role, the only person in the play, is played by Ashley Lyle. She's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. It is a heavy piece. It runs about 85 minutes, and she's carrying all of it by herself.
That's
She's-
a heavy load
Yes,
to
that
carry.
is a heavy load to carry, but she's playing multiple characters, and she's telling this story, and she's telling it in a very powerful way. I'm very proud of her.
Wonderful, wonderful. Who will sing for
Who
Lena?
will sing for
why,
Lena?
why that title?
The title was because Lena Baker had a nephew who championed her being pardoned posthumously 60 years after her execution. And he said, one of the things that he said in the speech was that there should be a symphonic choir here. There should be lots of people here to kind of sing Lena's praises. And so the playwright decided to take that phrase and kind of craft the title, which
Who
became
is the playwright?
the playwright is Janice Liddell, who I understand is from Ohio. She'll be coming to the show
Oh,
on
great.
she'll be coming to the show on December 1st, so she'll get a chance to see our take on her piece. So it's only been performed a few times in the country in some Michigan premiere. So I'm excited to see what she thinks about what we've done.
That is so exciting. You know, especially how timely is this show?
Absolutely.
I mean, with what's happening, all
Absolutely.
of these people being exposed
Yes.
as sexual abusers.
Yes, absolutely, and it couldn't have been timed better,
Right.
because all of these allegations are coming to light, all of these people are kind of admitting this abuse of power that they've had. We realize that the issues that were relevant in 1945 Cuthbert, Georgia, are still relevant
Oh,
in
are they?
2017.
I know.
in
Aren't they?
2017.
I mean, it's something that I don't know why there's been so much. Well, like you say, women have been going through these kinds of things. They
Absolutely.
wanted to keep their jobs.
Yes.
They wanted, just when I think of some of the things that we as women have been
Have
through
endured, absolutely.
and endured and
Mhm.
kept silent
Mhm,
about.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
'Cause we-
I have my own personal experiences with it, and Megan Buckley Ball, who is the artistic director of the Matrix Theater, has been very supportive in just trying to get the word out about how women and men, if they find
Oh,
themselves
yeah,
in that
yeah,
position,
yeah.
can reach out for help. So in the middle of the program is a large power and control wheel, so you can see all of the various ways that people abuse power. They do it financially, they do it emotionally, they do it
I
physically,
know.
they do it all of those ways. And so, and there's also a phone number for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So, in presenting this play, we hope to not only present this story of this woman whose story has not been told as widely as some other stories have been told and should be, but also it's a direct opportunity to possibly save a life. So, yeah.
Yes, I ran into someone at the Detroit Rep, as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
opening night of the play that's running there now, Swimming Upstream.
Swing upstream.
And I was there as a board member.
Sure.
Just I was greeting people.
Sure.
And one woman remembered when we brought a play on the teen dating violence prevention
Mhm,
piece.
mhm.
I mean, it was different vignettes and
Mhm.
stuff, and the students ran the whole thing.
Mhm.
And she said at the time, we brought it over to her school, she was a counselor, and she said at the time there was a young lady being abused, and her friends wanted to tell her about it. And,
Absolutely.
after they saw that play, they said, we got to tell, we
Mhm.
got to tell. And she said the girl wouldn't let them tell.
Yeah.
And the guy had hidden behind a bush, and a guy had, as she was coming in the house, he forced his way in with her,
Mhm.
and she ran to the kitchen and
Mhm.
she got a knife, and he came and she stabbed him with the knife, and then he took the knife out and then he stabbed himself.
Oh my.
But the thing is, they found that it was the wound he inflicted that killed him.
Okay.
But the point was, all of this could have been maybe prevented.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
a lot of things happen, and when you're in, I think they put such an emphasis on love, and you got to have a boyfriend, and you got to have those kind of
Yes.
things, coming
Yes,
up. I mean,
absolutely.
so and so, I'm going with so and so. I
Mhm.
got a boyfriend.
Mhm.
Like that was
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
important,
Mhm.
and girls figure, an end of a relationship feels like a failure.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And in many aspects, and we can see it in different ways that we explore relationships. It could be a relationship as far as an employer is concerned. It could be a relationship, a romantic
Friend
relationship,
and
a
friend,
friendship. All
friendship.
of those things, indicate failure, but usually failure for the person who's being abused and not for the person who's doing the
Right,
abusing.
right.
And
Isn't that
that's
ironic?
absolutely,
There's a real
absolutely,
irony in that,
there is.
because a lot of times the person who is the abuser doesn't even think of themselves as the
No,
harmful
no,
person.
no. And that's one of the things that is explored, especially like with the National Domestic Violence Hotline, various
Right.
women's
Well,
shelters
with
around there. You
and
understand
in
that.
our culture, we just certain things we don't want to talk
Can't
about.
we talk about that a little bit, Ms.
Yes,
Perryman? Because I
yes,
think that as
yes.
Black women in particular, we have a disproportionate view of what abuse is. I think that historically in this country, we've taken so much. We have been neglected. We have been brought to this country in chains.
We
We have
have
had our
allowed
children.
uncomfortable situations to become comfort
Absolutely,
zones.
absolutely, for so long, and for all of the things that you mentioned, for fear of losing our jobs, for fear of being,
Losing the man.
losing a man,
I
fear
mean,
of,
come on.
yeah,
It's,
being
I mean,
stigmatized.
and I when I said, and pardon me for saying, oh, come on. No, that is important to some
Absolutely.
people, because sometimes that man is the support
Yes,
of the family.
yes.
And if we have kids,
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
something else.
And then there's another stigma of not wanting to be the person who brings a good man down. So
Right.
there's all of those things
Well,
that women have to take
sometimes
into
along
consideration.
with, because, I look at the domino effect of many of these things. Sometimes with a marriage, when you divorce a spouse,
Yes,
um, and you've had these friends along the way who we all double date together, we all do this
yes,
together, and
yes,
you notice the dynamic change
yes,
with those friends.
yes.
And it usually changes not in favor of the woman.
Absolutely, absolutely. I could talk about that a
Well,
little
we can
bit.
talk.
We
We
can
can
talk.
talk,
We can
girl. We
talk
can talk.
forever about that. I'm personally in that situation right now. I don't want to say too much because I've got court dates coming up. But yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
that always amazed me. It's because I said, wait a minute. The
Yes.
woman was the one really being
That had
mistreated here.
absolutely, but it's so, and that's one of the things that we explore too. You see how these networks are kind of built to protect this man and his image,
Right.
or this person, this abuser, this batterer, and his image. So
We
yeah.
have Theo on the line. We have a call. Good morning, Theo. Good morning.
Yes, happy Friday to both of you. I wanted to share and interject the fact that we can't forget about the preachers. Somewhere in the Bible, they talk about what the woman should do and be and how she should submit. And I think a lot of that is mistaken for us allowing someone to have power for you. What do you think about that?
I think that's very true. And I think the other thing is the fact that they always think, because of maybe that statement and some other things, that women will get over it.
Absolutely.
We're easier to get over it. I mean,
Or obligated to get over it.
obligated to get over
Yeah.
it, easier to get over it, that we, as women, have carried so many different loads and have, because we didn't let it buckle and we fall flat
Mhm.
to the ground. People think, oh well, she could take it.
Absolutely.
We gotta
Yeah,
pamper
yeah,
this other
yeah.
person.
We have a disproportionate view of what we should and should not tolerate, and also what we view as abuse. Sometimes you just don't even know what to call it until you're out of it. Absolutely.
I had when I have the students working on the program, one of my students, she said, Ms. Perryman, I broke up with so and so
Yes.
because I was on the steps and he called me down and he was talking to me. He was verbally abusing me, Miss Perryman, and I'm not going to take it.
All
See,
right.
once they know what
Yes.
it is,
Once you know what to call it, absolutely. Once you know how to name it, you can can take steps to remove yourself from dangerous
And I
situations.
think right now, I think a lot of people are walking around on tiptoes because of the things that have come out in the news right now, right or wrong.
Yes.
Things people are wondering. You know, they're even talking about office parties. Should we have office parties anymore? You know, where people drink and stuff like
There's
that.
all kinds of conversations that are happening. And I think it's good, but I think one of the things that we have to understand is that there is a fundamental difference between approaching somebody and assaulting somebody. And
Right.
if you don't know the difference,
There
perhaps
is
you
a
should stay at
difference.
home.
You know, there is a difference. But Theo,
That's true.
that is very
But
true.
I think one in the church, the preacher gives an example, and all of the church sisters, you know, running around trying to please him. That's giving a role play for the men in the church. And secondly, with all of the conversation that is going on now, it's interesting to hear people speak against the women who have been abused.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They're all coming out now because they only want attention. And as that they don't only want attention, they want this issue to get as much publicity as possible to help people understand what's really going on.
Well, thank you so much for calling in,
you.
Theo.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
That was very, very relevant. And also the point historically, we talked Lena Baker, whatever. So many of our ancestors,
Yes.
the women in our families have been abused. You know that.
Yes.
And you know
Yes.
our families are mixed up through the ages
Yes.
too.
Yes.
We have a call from Tyrone. Good morning. Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I've been looking at this situation between the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats, they accused this guy in Alabama, this old guy in Alabama, for something happened 30 years ago. And then the Republicans accused 88-year-old man, that's John Conyers, for some abuse to women. And they are both wrestling which one's going to get the office of senator. So when I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the news media, all these people are resigning on allegations that's happened 50 years ago. I'm seeing it's a danger in this because it could very well usher in fascism. The news media is playing this up, and women coming all out of the woodwork, and all these old men 30 years ago, and they're doing away with the court and having prosecution through the media. And could we be falling into a trap where, you know, and talk about abuse of women, which is actually happens, but for them to lead it and to discard the court, that's sort of dangerous.
Well, there's a point there. What I was going to say, if it's allegations and you didn't do it, you know, you should hold your ground.
Absolutely.
But sometimes people figure the longer they'll hold their ground, people will just give up and go home
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
There are so many different.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a delicate balance there, and I don't care if it was 50 years ago. There are, you know, people. I guess you got to walk in them shoes.
You do. You have to own it.
And know that there were things, and all of us have been victims of a lot of things and could have said a lot of things.
Yes.
That we didn't say because
Absolutely.
that person has a family. That person has this and that.
Mhm.
But now, you know, it's just like anything else. Somebody starts the ball rolling
Absolutely.
and it keeps on rolling. True or false, I'm not sure. You know,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Conyers.
just wanted to mention that because here what I'm seeing is so much is happening in the world. The United States is bombing 6 countries right now.
Right, but Tyrone.
And they got bombs all around.
Tyrone.
Ships all around North Korea, and it could be a nuclear war.
Tyrone. But it is a real thing. but it's
Well,
still a
it's not.
real
It
thing.
might not be real.
And,
It
and
might not be real. We might be walking into nuclear war in the world, and they're
absolutely
using instead of
could
talking
be,
of
but
pertinent things that's really
I don't
happening.
think the
Now
women
we are
should be
talking about
quiet.
sex
Yeah,
50
I
years
think it's two
ago.
separate issues. I think
It's
it's two
two
separate
separate
Okay, now I'm
issues,
gonna just hang
and
up
I
and
think that
listen
it's
to see
very,
whether
very
somebody
easy to
else
fall
just
into the
might
trap
think.
of
Okay,
making it one
right,
big issue,
right.
so that we don't have to focus on
Right,
the
it's
issue at hand.
separate issues and so
Absolutely.
forth.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, that crazy president had an argument with LeVar
Oh
Ball.
my goodness.
So
Like,
we
why
won't
do you
even
have
get into
time for
that.
that, sir?
So who will sing for
Who will
Lena?
sing for Lena?
And
Runs through
that's at the
December 10th.
Matrix Theater.
Yes.
And the address, when is it?
The address
What
is
times is it?
2730 Bagley Street. It runs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Fridays at 8 p.m., Saturday, same time, and Sundays at 2 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you there.
And when is the last show?
The last show is December 10th.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Because I really want to see
Please,
this.
please,
I
please, please,
really,
please. I
really
would love
want
for you to be
see
there.
this. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Always
you.
good. This is
Thank
a
you.
whole nother conversation.
It is.
Yeah, we can get into something. Now, stay tuned. I have Tiffany Rose
Yes.
here, and we'll be
Gorgeous.
back in just a moment.
Thank you.
Table Talk with Brenda Perryman is brought to you by Livingston Family Dentistry.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
Then you should be coming to us.
I am back. I am back with one of my peeps. This is another friend of the show. I've had all these friends of the shows on this morning, and this is the book, The Bounce Back, and it's by my guest Tiffany Rose, who is here. She is back, and you didn't know Tiffany had a clothing business. I know a lot of you didn't know this. Tiffany, welcome.
Thank
So,
you. For
loud
having
and
me.
clear, girl.
Thank you for having me.
And what's the name of your business? I didn't even realize that while you were when you were here before.
Yeah, it's Tiffany Rose Collections.
Tiffany
after
Rose
me.
Collections, and it's online right now.
Yes, it's just online. Yep, so it's TiffanyRoseCollections.com.
Well, I just want to tell you, this is a vest. It's a fur vest. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, you can just put your turtleneck sweater, your sweater underneath, and you can just go.
And be warm, yes.
And be warm. And what you have
This
on?
is a raccoon. This is just a little simple little wrap. You can wear it this way, or you can wear it like,
Oh,
this.
yeah, and they do that. Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
And the hat to match.
Yeah,
huh?
the hat to match. Yeah.
Oh, right. Good ideas.
Yes.
Good ideas. Now, when Tiffany was here before, we talked about her book, The Bounce Back. And believe me, Tiffany had to bounce back. And Tiffany, why don't you give them a brief overview of your book and why it's been kind of an important book to many people, and it's a bestseller on Amazon.
Yes. It's pretty much just about life that I've been through, things I've been through in my life. And pretty much
And
just.
they weren't just average
Oh,
things.
no. They wasn't average. A lot of people probably would have lost their mind or killed themselves with a lot of the things I went through, but I just pretty much knew that throughout those situations, I always knew God was my bounce back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the excellent book. And it doesn't take long to read. I read it, and I read the whole thing before she came to the show.
Yes.
And what made you decide to open up a business like this? But you kind of knew clothes.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I've been doing Tiffany Rose collections off and on for 3 years now. I had to stop because I had got sick with breast cancer.
Right.
So it was a lot on me. I was still trying to, get the customers' clothing out to them, and it was just starting to take a toll on me. And I really didn't have the help. My daughter would help me, but I really didn't have the help to really do what I needed to do to keep having my business grow. So I stopped it, and then now it's back. So yeah.
Wow. And I looked at your site. I looked at it yesterday.
Yes.
And I saw that it's wait, and you're modeling on a lot of those sites.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like,
Yeah.
she's doing it.
Well, yeah.
And so tell the audience what kind of clothes you have.
Well, it's pretty much for the sophisticated woman, I should say. Yeah. Really trying to bring what fashion really is supposed to be.
You know
yeah.
what? Before you go on with that, I was thinking about that yesterday because there's a movie, and I've seen it twice this week, and it's from the early 50s, Grace Kelly. It was called Rear Window.
I have a blazer named after her.
But Rear Window. And she works for a fashion house, but it was really about her and her guy, played by James Stewart, and he would look out into the courtyard and look at neighbors what they were doing, and she'd come in with these beautiful outfits. I know they were done by Edith Head or somebody.
Yeah.
But that's when fashion meant something.
Oh,
you come in, you're sophisticated.
Yes.
And
yes.
you carry clothes make you carry yourself a different way.
Yes, it does. I really truly believe that. I've had a lot of women reach out to me and say thank you for not just bringing the sophisticated, classy look back, but being as of plus size, that's why I model the pictures, because I'm smaller at the top, but I'm very bottom heavy. So a lot of women appreciate that I put on the clothing so they can see what it looks like, because if they're built like me, they can say, okay, I can get that.
Well,
yeah.
A lot of women are hippies.
Yes.
Can't help it.
Yeah, I know.
I used to say to myself, why do people get hip implants?
Yeah, I don't get it, but yeah, I wish I can give it away.
So you brought a few things that we can look at, and reach over and bring one at a time. And she'll do that. I just love this vest. I love the color. I got some shoes that are matching. I don't know if I have what kind of fur is this?
That's fox.
It's fox. This is fox. And we'll be foxy. Now, what is this?
This is the Giovanni dress.
Let's
I call
bring
it.
over to the center.
I name all my clothing. So.
The Giovanni dress.
Yes, it's a long floor length dress. I wore it actually to my bishop's ball, and got a lot of compliments and a lot of sales off of it.
Really?
And it's just made out of scuba material. This will be it'll be like a nice look for an evening event that you would have to go to.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's long.
Yeah, it's long down to the floor.
Oh, and the sleeves, the scallops, and I love these sleeves. You know, the kind of I always call them bell sleeves.
Yeah.
These are different. These are different.
Yes.
These are different. This is nice.
Yes.
Are your clothes very expensive?
No, they range. The only thing that's really expensive on the site is like the furs.
Right.
I do sell mink. I do sell fox. Of course.
You sell mink also?
Yeah. So those are more like the more expensive pieces. Like this dress right here is I think $114 or something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
You could wear that dress so many times.
Yeah.
And also, I was going to ask you, with the dress, where do you find your clothes?
I go. I have vendors from LA and New York, and even New Jersey as well. Just wholesale. I get a lot of my clothing from.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what you got, girl.
I have. This is
stripes. Is this a dress?
No, this is actually a jumpsuit.
Oh my gosh.
It's a jumpsuit with
And a jacket?
with a long kimono jacket,
Oh my goodness.
and that's the jacket.
Oh.
I wish I had a model, but
Oh,
the
I
back
do.
is
We got
out.
the idea. We're smart like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that is beautiful. And the kimono jacket.
yes,
This is an outfit.
yeah. So
Oh,
I
this
have
is
that.
really nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And I like the way the contrasts go with the cuffs of the
Oh,
sleeves
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
This is another
What is?
like
Oh,
another like little evening look. I just broke the.
oh,
little
don't worry.
thing.
Oh my goodness.
So
This is
is like
look, everybody.
another piece where it's like off the shoulder. You can see how it looks on the
Yes, yes. Well,
website.
this was a
Yeah.
good style this year.
Yeah.
You think it'll still be going on next year?
It may. We can kind of, being in this business, you can kind of forecast. You have like the inside scoop of like what's going to be coming up next. So we just try to forecast like what the fashion
Well, I
would
think
be.
this one still go another
Oh,
year
yeah,
or so.
yeah, I think so.
Definitely, because you know why? Because it's so complimentary to the figure.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah,
complimentary.
yeah. Because everybody hasn't had a tummy tuck like I have. So yeah.
My daughter had.
Yeah, this is more of like this is the breakfast at Tiffany's dress. This is like kind of
Oh,
kind
my
of named
goodness.
after Audrey
Audrey
Hepburn.
Hepburn.
And this is just it has a belt to go to it. I forgot it, but this is just a simple dress that you can wear to the office. To you can even wear it out to somebody wore to a wedding.
Oh, girl, and you could jewelry. I
yeah.
mean, your cuffs.
Put
I
a
mean,
brooch,
your
pearls. However, I wore it like that.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
nice
You
dress.
tested all those
Yeah, I
clothes.
tested it
That's
all.
the one thing you could be a good tester if you
Yeah.
have a shop.
Exactly. And then this is a look that I wore actually to church.
You wore this to church.
I wore this to church with some jeans, actually.
Really?
It was Youth Sunday, so that was my way of dressing down.
Oh my goodness! Look
But
inside.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And this hangs down. This is sharp.
Yeah, so
This
it
is-
has
I
a belt to
I
go
would
to
love
it.
this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I could wear this.
Yeah.
I could wear this.
This is a dress down look, so yeah, that's why I paired it with jeans, so it won't look too fancy.
But
So
you could
yeah,
wear it with some black slacks
Yeah,
and some nice heels
yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff. And I like the pattern, and I like the feel of the material.
Yes.
It just feels like leather.
yeah.
This is great.
Yes.
This is great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, so that's
Oh,
and
this
of
is
course
fun.
we have furs too as well. So we have fox, we have like this longer length fox. They can come down to the floor if you want it to come down to the floor. But right now this is just a 3/4 length style. And we have shorter furs. We have we have mink.
Do you have short fur vests?
Yeah, shorter fur vest. So like this particular fur, it'll stop like right here for a vest, like the shorter
Right,
vest.
right.
So yeah.
This is so rich looking. I guess that's why I keep looking at this because of the particular gray that it is.
Yeah.
It's very, very rich looking.
Yeah, when I took them out the box, I mean, they just fluffed right up. Like, no, coming from another country, they don't have a smell or anything to it. Just beautiful, just really nice. I'm very proud. Yeah.
Wow. So you sell now let's talk about, you sell dresses?
Yeah, dresses, jeans.
You sell jeans?
Yeah, I sell jeans. Everything is not dressy. So from dresses,
I'm
evening.
going to ask you about these jeans. I remember I was the coach, her acting coach for a while, Delicious.
Okay.
And she has big posterior.
Yes.
But she was doing some jeans at the time
Oh,
that
yeah.
were big enough because she had a small waist.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yeah.
but she was larger in the behind.
Yeah. I try to, especially when it comes to jeans. The jean is the hardest thing for a woman to buy. I promise it is. It is the hardest piece of clothing to buy for a woman. So on the back end for me, I'll test out, different style jeans. A few jeans I have had, I really had to get them like taken in the waist because, like I said, I did have some work done. But for the most part, it's just even before I had that done, I always had like a small stomach, but I always had a problem in the waist. So a few of the jeans that I do sell, they pretty much contour today's woman where it'll fit you in the waist, it's not really big and bulky, and then it'll fit the hip and the buttocks area too as well.
Yeah, I have some jeans at home I haven't put on in like four, no, almost 5 years.
Okay.
Only because I'm scared to put them on. I said, they may not fit. Yeah, they may fit. I don't know. I just all of a sudden, because I used to wear jeans. Well, back in the Show Enough day in the 80s, that's a half Show Enough day of my days. The Jordache jeans.
Oh yeah,
and everything,
yeah.
and they kind of fit.
They
I was
did.
Able, that's when I was really tucking in my shirt.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
they, I'd put them on, and they had the little Georgettes or the Calvin Klein.
Oh, Calvin Klein, yes.
Nothing came between me and my Calvin.
Yes, yes.
And I actually used to teach in them
Okay.
because I'd wear a silk shirt.
Okay.
And it was tucked in. I would have a nice belt,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd have heels.
Yeah.
Back then, you
Yeah.
could wear that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And it was just so nice. And I think about it. I said, golly, I didn't realize how good I looked. Because they were just
Yeah.
regular. I just put them on.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
yeah.
you have jeans.
Yes, I have jeans. This turtleneck I
Oh,
have
you have
on.
those turtle. I love. Though I have one that comes up high. I don't know why I like.
I like
the-
them to come up
Yeah.
around my neck. I have so many turtlenecks. If I told you how many I have, you would say, "Oh yeah, you love turtlenecks." Yeah, I love them.
Do you sell any other colors?
Yes, I do
besides
have
black?
other colors.
Oh, good,
yeah,
good,
I have
good,
other
good.
colors. I know what looks good on me, and I think I look good in black. So I
Yeah.
post a lot of my clothing of me wearing black, but I do have other colors of
My
other
mother
pieces.
always said, "You have so much black."
Yeah, yeah.
But I like color.
Yeah,
I do like color.
my
but-
personality is vibrant, so
Yeah.
it brightens up the black.
Yeah. So, what? Because I would like to. I think I have one with the high neck. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
But what other colors do you?
I have this color, black. I have cream. I have brown,
Oh, you have a cream.
red.
Oh, you have a red?
Yeah.
I love red.
Yeah.
See, oh my goodness! You just throw on a jacket like today. I just have on a plain
Yeah.
black dress. But I said, let me just do a little denim today because
Yeah.
I don't usually do
Yeah.
denim. But I
Yeah.
always think denim.
It's simple. It's just
denim makes
simple.
me younger.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But I'm being silly now. But if you want to get somebody something for Christmas that is something you don't see on the rack every day.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you go for?
I'm really trying. Like now it's time for me, like pretty much after Christmas I've already been looking for spring and summer. So it's just you trying to stay ahead of the game as far as, just trying to be fashion forward and really trying to give the people what they want. I like a lot of the trends that's out there, but I really try to bring more of the focus on like what you really should look like when you walk out the door in this world. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I'm just loving that last piece.
Thank
you
you.
had. I just love
Thank
it.
you.
That's just so
Yeah.
eclectic.
Yes.
Eclectic.
Yes.
I love
yes.
that. Let my audience know once again how they can get a look at your fashions.
Yes.
And you do have a Facebook page too for your fashions.
Yes, I do have a Facebook page. It's Tiffany Rose Collections. That's Tiffany with the I, Tiffani, Rose, ROSE, collections.com.
Collections plural.
With the S, yes.
Plural.
Yes.
Tiffany, and that's with an I.
Yes.
Tiffani,
Yes.
Rose, ROSE,
Yes.
Collections, COLLECTIONS.
Yes.
.com.
Yes.
And I mean, girl, this is just some nice stuff.
Yeah.
And you can see her model. That's the other thing. She does such a good job. that jumpsuit, that outfit you had.
The red.
No, the other one. You had a white one. I'll show you. But you had it's printed, and you're near the steps.
It was blue and black.
Yes.
Oh gosh, before I can post my own self in that picture, I sold out. I didn't even get a chance to take a picture in that dress. So that's the picture that you see me in. That's the third batch of dresses that I bought. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
never got a chance. So when I first got it, I never got a chance to put it on. So I went out of town, last week, and I was supposed to take a picture in it when I was out of town, and I didn't get a chance to. So I said, I'll just do it when I get home. And I couldn't believe it sold out again. I just had to place another order last night.
Stop.
Yeah, that dress is, yeah. I was really shocked. I'm looking at the emails and just
You'll see
I'm
the
like,
dress
wow.
when you go online. You can see it. It's sharp.
Oh, thank
it's really,
you.
really sharp.
Thank you.
Oh, Tiffany, thank you for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
And remember, a good read is the bounce back.
Yes, thank you.
And you've spoken on the bounce back.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud
Thank
of you.
you.
And I'm glad you could get on. So it's that time of year, and if you, you can maybe think of me when you think of, anyway.
Like this piece right here, like if you were to go into like the big box furriers, they sell this for like $2,500. I'm only selling this piece for like $700.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's real fox fur.
It is real.
It's real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank
yeah.
you once again.
Thank
and Merry
you.
Christmas.
Thank you.
And
You
Happy
too.
New Year, girl.
Thank you.
And everybody,
Thank
I'll
you.
see you next week. We'll be back with Table Talk next week.
Thank
see
you.
you then.